Hey guys, and welcome back. I know I haven't really uploaded anything in a while. Funny thing, school kind of hits a bit different, especially, with the things I'm kind of studying right now. So I haven't uploaded for a bit. Um, but I have been streaming on Twitch. I played through the entirety of Elden Ring pretty cheesily, and I have downloaded all the videos. I just had to edit them kind of together and upload that, but that's going to take a while. So, and I'm working on something in the background. But for right now, I kind of just want to talk about Sonic Frontiers. Now, Sonic Frontiers was a game that was like announced like what about a year or so ago, and when I first heard about like an open world Sonic game, I was like, okay, like every game right now has been just kind of open world games, and to me, I'm like, Sonic is already struggling with 3D, right? So like, I don't know how well they're gonna do with an open world game, but like the developers of the game and everyone's like, Sega have been trying to work on trying to get like a really good review score, which isn't really surprising because it's a game company, but they actually stated that out loud, like they were interviewed about it and said that they wanted to get a good score. So that makes sense in the grand scheme of things, and time has passed and they released a gameplay reveal of Sonic Frontiers, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of scared for it, and I want to just really talk about the main concerns I have for Sonic Frontiers. And I want to just say up front right now, I like Sonic. Like, I grew up with Sonic when I was a little kid, right? And, you have to criticize the things you love and kind of point out, like, this shit not that good, um, but they revealed so far kind of like the gameplay a little bit and like the combat. Let's talk about like the first one, the first video that was released. In that video, they kind of like, the main thing that really popped out to me, and which everyone talks about, is really the pop-in. Like everything just kind of loading in really close and up front, and you could just see it popping into the area. Yeah, that's kind of not good. That was a huge issue with like Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I didn't like that in Pokemon Sword and Shield because it was very distracting, and especially in games, you're trying to immerse the player, right? So when you have something just kind of pop in, that's not that breaks my immersion, in my opinion. It breaks it, um and that's a huge issue that I have. And the other thing that I don't really think I've seen a lot of people talk about is the rails, like the rails and the location of the rails and the terrain in certain parts, like the platforms and stuff, doesn't really fit in the game, in the environment. So like, when you kind of see, the horizon, out on the horizons, you just see just rails floating in the middle of the air. That bothers me. That like extremely bothers me. Like, why? Like, please explain to me how that is supposed to be pleasing to the eye, because it isn't. It doesn't appease anything to me, right? Like, it doesn't. It looks ugly. Like, my way of thinking about it is like, if you're gonna have things like rails, right? Like, I think there's a better way to kind of hide it, or like, you know, naturally put into the environment. And what I mean by that is like, for example, I think like the best example is, you know, forget the zone, but like, there was a tropical zone in, I don't know if it was Sonic, I think it was Sonic Adventure 2, where you kind of like swing on like vines and stuff and like do all that. That feels like it's really natural to the world because you're in like a jungle forest area, right? And of course there's going to be vines. Of course there's going to be all that junk, right? because it's part of the environment. Now, explain to me where there's like just rails existing for no reason, standing there, right? That doesn't seem natural. It's not like a part of it. I would say like a cool thing that they could have done is, it would be really neat, is if they had like a tree, like, you know, you have like trees, and like you would have a vine that you can grind on, or like or you can grind on like the branches of a tree or something like that. I don't know, but like have it more grounded into the environment is a main thing. I mean, those were the two main things I really was concerned about. And I understand that, you know, it's an early build of the game, right? Like they usually, it takes time to make the game, right? And what they sent IGN was probably a really early version, or a more earlier version of the game itself. So I can understand that this isn't going to absolutely look like the final product, but it's very concerning what the final product will look like, especially what they have presented so far. You know, that's my main thing. Now I do want to talk about the combat and the enemies. I won't lie, some of the enemies are pretty cool. I like the giant Titan guy. That's really cool. I thought that was neat looking. Having like giant hands that slams down and then you run up the arm and then you attack the spiky thing. That's neat. I thought that was kind of cool. I will say, and also there's not just like the combat now isn't just like, oh, I do a homing attack, oh, I jump onto this enemy, right? Like usual Sonic games, that's what it has been for like years now. Except for like what, Sonic Boom? That game was like absolute garbage. So, but like now you actually have like a combat sequence that Sonic can do, and I think that's pretty neat. Now, some of the special moves that Sonic does just look weird. Like, please explain to me how like Sonic just kind of flies in the air, circles back, and then just goes for like a kick into the enemy. That doesn't look natural, and that kind of like bugs me. I understand that it comes off, I don't want to seem like I'm coming off nitpicky, but like to me it doesn't feel natural. Like it just seems jarring to me, you know? And some of the enemy design, like the one enemy where it's just circles and you just spam A or whatever to like kick the circles, that isn't a really neat design to me, at least. That's just kind of like meh, like mid, you know? And I'm not gonna really talk about the puzzles in the game either, because like the puzzles, I think those are just early stage puzzles, and I don't really know what the puzzles are gonna be like. But anyways, back to the enemies, specifically the enemies. The circle guy, not my favorite enemy. I really like the Titan guy. I also kind of like the, I guess, kind of basic enemy. And I think the shell enemy, where it's like around the shell and you can do like a circle move to pop the shell off. I think that's kind of neat. But then they just did like the Sonic Central live stream, and I was like, you know what, I'll check it out, see what's about. And besides like it pretty much promoting merchandise, they revealed like this one, and I thought it was really cool. It was like a really cool concept. Pretty much the enemy just creates like a track in the air, and it's kind of like a flying, like think of it as like a flying dragon, and you're running on like pretty much a cybernetic dragon practically, and you're just running around on the track. It sends out like little orbs that you can dodge, which every main Sonic 3D game has been doing that. Like, oh, watch out, just dodge to the right, quick dash to the right, quick dash to the left to dodge these attacks. But like, I don't know, there's something super cool about that. I just like the concept of you just kind of running around on this thing's like trail, I guess, or I don't even know if it's a trail or a back or whatever, but I thought that was really neat in my opinion. And like and then it creates like a disc that you can kind of stand on and fight the enemy on. I thought that was kind of cool. I actually will not lie. You know, that I thought that was like, you know, I'll give Sega that. Good job, Sega. That looks kind of poppin', bit of bussin', you know. So I thought that was really neat. But pretty much that's where my main concerns lie. Will I probably buy this game? Probably, maybe. When I get around to it. But I just, you know, like, I just don't want them to massacre my boy again. He's already been down so many times, you know. Sonic 06, Sonic Boom, a bunch of mediocre games, you know. It'd be cool for, like, Sega to just make a good game, you know. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, that's about it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.